Life is short. It's a phrase we hear often, but rarely stop to consider what it truly means. In a world where routines consume our days and distractions are always a tap away, we can easily drift through life without ever pausing to ask, am I spending my time wisely? The average human life spans around 4,000 weeks. That number sounds generous until we begin subtracting the hours spent on work, sleep, and obligations. Suddenly, the time we have for truly living feels alarmingly scarce. This realization can be terrifying or incredibly freeing, because once you accept that your time is limited, you gain the clarity to choose what matters. You stop chasing approval and start pursuing purpose. You stop living on autopilot and start living with intention. In this video, we're going to explore how to make the most of our short lives, not by filling every second with activity, but by aligning our time with what brings depth, connection, and fulfillment. We all think we have more time. Tomorrow becomes next week, next month, next year. And just like that, life slips through our fingers while we plan for a perfect moment that never comes. The truth is, the clock is always ticking. Every second we spend waiting is a second we'll never get back. We act as if life grants us a guarantee of longevity. We postpone our dreams, delay tough conversations, and defer joy. We think, I'll start tomorrow, not realizing that tomorrow isn't promised. How many people have waited for retirement to enjoy life, only to find they ran out of time before they ever truly lived? It's easy to fall into the illusion of time when everything seems routine. Wake up, work, sleep, repeat. We get caught in a rhythm that feels endless. But it isn't. Life is anything but guaranteed. All it takes is one phone call, one accident, one diagnosis to change everything. Realizing how fragile time is doesn't need to scare you, it should wake you up. It should fuel your desire to live with urgency, to act now, to love now, to speak your truth now. Because if you don't, you risk sleepwalking through the only life you've got. Every moment wasted on fear, doubt, or procrastination is a betrayal of your potential. It's a lie we tell ourselves that we'll have the courage later. But later is a thief. It steals the boldest parts of us, the fire, the risk, the passion, and in return, it gives us regret. You weren't meant to coast through life. You were meant to ignite it, to question the rules, to chase what makes your heart race. Time isn't waiting for you to be ready. It rewards those who move before they're fully confident, those who understand that courage comes after action, not before. If today was your last day, would you be proud of how you spent it? Would you wish you'd loved more deeply, laughed more loudly, or said what needed to be said? Or would you be stuck in a loop of unfinished plans and unsaid dreams? We don't get to choose how long we live, but we get to choose how we live, and in that choice lies our power. You can decide right now to stop wasting time, to stop acting like life is a dress rehearsal. This is the show. This is it. What would change if you truly believed your time is limited? You'd be bolder, kinder, more relentless. You'd stop chasing things that don't matter. You'd simplify, clarify, and prioritize. You'd live on purpose instead of on autopilot. The illusion of time is seductive, but now you see through it. You know the truth. Time isn't patient. It doesn't negotiate. It doesn't pause for anyone. The sooner you accept that, the faster you'll start living a life worth remembering. Regret is a heavy burden. It creeps in late at night when everything is quiet and you're left alone with your thoughts. It doesn't shout. It whispers. It reminds you of the words you didn't say, the chances you didn't take, the life you could have lived if only you'd been a little braver. And once it settles in, it doesn't leave easily. You can try to silence it with distractions, scrolling, shopping, working too much. But regret is patient. It waits until your defenses are down. Then it shows you a version of your life you didn't choose. A life where you said yes to your dreams. A life where you didn't settle. a life where you lived fully instead of cautiously. The cruel truth about regret is that it often follows obedience. Obedience to fear, obedience to expectations, obedience to a life you didn't choose, but one that was chosen for you. You didn't speak up because you were taught to stay quiet. You didn't leap because you were told it wasn't safe. But what's more dangerous than dying with your potential still locked inside you? Every day you delay living boldly. Regret sharpens its blade. It doesn't wound instantly. It waits, it watches. And then one day you wake up and realize the window has closed. Not because time ran out, but because you ran out of nerve. And that's when regret cuts the deepest, not for what happened, but for what never did. But here's the hope buried inside that weight. Regret is also a compass. It shows you what matters most. The dreams that haunt you are often the ones worth pursuing. The apologies that linger are the ones that need to be spoken. The chances you missed before don't mean you have to keep missing them. You can use regret as fuel. You can let it light a fire under your feet instead of weighing down your soul. You can look it in the eye and say, "Not today, not again." You don't have to repeat the past. You can choose a different ending, one with fewer apologies and more audacity. The antidote to regret isn't perfection. It's movement. It's trying, failing, and showing up again. It's being bold enough to live a life that excites you and being humble enough to admit when you're off course. Regret loses its power when action enters the room. When you start living aligned with your heart, regret starts to fade. You begin to collect memories instead of missed opportunities. You begin to tell stories instead of excuses. And most importantly, you begin to respect yourself for finally showing up to your own life. We can't escape regret entirely, but we can keep it from growing. We can shrink it with truth, with courage, with momentum. Because the worst kind of regret isn't doing something that didn't work. It's doing nothing at all. So ask yourself, what regret are you still carrying? And what would it take to lay it down today? Not tomorrow, not someday. Today. Distraction is the silent killer of potential. It doesn't attack you head-on. It seduces you. It tells you that scrolling is harmless, that the news cycle needs your constant attention, that you'll get to your real goals later. And just like that, days turn into weeks and your dreams sit untouched on the shelf. You weren't made to consume every headline, every video, every opinion. You were made to create, to move, to build. But in a world designed to keep your attention, your focus is your most valuable currency. Spend it wisely, because every minute you give away mindlessly is one you can't get back. We blame time for our inaction, but often the real thief is distraction. How often do you set out to work on something important, only to find yourself lost in something trivial? Distraction disguises itself as urgency. It convinces you that replying to messages or checking notifications is necessary. But all it does is dilute your energy. Distraction doesn't just steal your time, it fractures your identity. When you constantly abandon your own goals to react to external noise, you slowly forget what you're capable of. You become a responder instead of a creator, a watcher instead of a doer. That erosion happens subtly but powerfully. But here's the truth. You have the power to reclaim your focus. You can turn off the noise. You can delete what no longer serves you. You can protect your attention like it's sacred because it is. The more you guard your mind, the more powerful your life becomes. Focus isn't about doing more. It's about doing less of what doesn't matter. It's about saying no to distractions so you can say yes to purpose. It's choosing discipline over dopamine, depth over noise, real progress over temporary relief. Every great breakthrough requires sustained attention. You can't write a book, build a business, or transform your life in 30-second intervals. You need deep, uninterrupted time. Time to think, to create, to reflect. That kind of time is rare, but you can create it if you dare. Discipline may be hard, but distraction is deadly. One leads to a life you're proud of. The other leads to a life of what-ifs. You get to choose. You can be consumed by what's urgent, or you can commit to what's important. You don't need more hours. You need more intention. You need to remember why you started. You need to remind yourself that your future is worth the discomfort of disconnection, because clarity is born in silence, not chaos. The world will always offer you something to distract you, but your greatness lies in what you decline. Starve your distractions. Feed your purpose. Comfort is a cage. Comfort feels good until it doesn't. It lulls you into a rhythm, into routines, into habits that seem harmless. You tell yourself you're just resting or waiting for the right time, but deep down, you know the truth. You're hiding, not from the world, but from your own potential. Comfort is sneaky. It wraps itself around you like a warm blanket on a cold morning. It tells you that you've earned it, that growth can wait, that risk is for other people. It convinces you that staying still is safer than stepping forward. And slowly, without realizing it, you begin to shrink. You don't notice the cage at first. It's made of soft things: entertainment, food, routine, familiarity. But over time, those soft walls become hard limits. You forget what discomfort feels like. And when a real challenge shows up, you panic. Because your muscles, mental, emotional, spiritual, have atrophied. The longer you stay in comfort, the more your fear grows. It grows in the silence of maybe tomorrow. It grows in the stillness of missed opportunities. It grows each time you choose ease over effort. And before you know it, you've built a life that looks calm on the outside, but feels hollow on the inside. Here's the hard truth. The life you want is on the other side of discomfort. Fulfillment lives beyond what's familiar. Purpose isn't found in what's easy. It's found in the stretch, in the fight, in the friction of becoming someone new. You don't evolve in safety. You evolve in struggle. If you always choose what's comfortable, you'll always get what you've already got. That's not a curse, it's a choice. A choice to stop settling, a choice to stop trading short-term pleasure for long-term meaning. Growth hurts, but stagnation, that suffocates. Real change starts when you get tired of your own excuses. When you stop waiting for inspiration and start acting on intention. When you stop asking for permission and start claiming responsibility. No one is coming to save you from your comfort. You have to break out yourself. Discomfort isn't the enemy. It's the evidence that you're moving, that you're alive, that you still care enough to try. It's the teacher that shows you where your limits are and how to push past them. Embrace it. Lean into it. Let it refine you. The world doesn't need more people who are comfortable. It needs people who are awake, who are willing to challenge themselves, who are done playing small. Because your comfort zone might feel safe, but it's also where dreams go to die. So stretch, sweat, stumble, but don't sit, don't settle. Your cage isn't locked. The key is in your hands. Use it. Time is not a renewable resource. You don't. Get it back. You don't get to rewind, redo, or reschedule your moments. Once they're gone, they're gone. And yet, we live like we have forever. Like later is guaranteed. Like we can afford to wait. You won't always be this young, this healthy, this free. The people you love won't always be here. The opportunities in front of you won't always remain open. The window closes slowly but surely. And when it does, regret walks in. We don't lose time all at once. We leak it. In small, unnoticed drips. In the 5 minutes we waste scrolling. In the hour we spend complaining. In the days we spend planning but not doing. And over time, those leaks flood the space where our dreams were meant to live. You don't need more time. You need more urgency. Not panic, not anxiety, but a deep, focused awareness that life is happening right now, that today is your shot, that this moment is not a rehearsal, it's the real thing. Time rewards the bold, the ones who act when others hesitate, the ones who move while others talk, the ones who know that done is better than perfect. That momentum matters more than mastery, because those who move fast often lap those who wait for ideal conditions. There will never be a perfect time. The stars won't align, the doubts won't vanish, the fear won't disappear. You act in spite of them, not because they're gone. Courage isn't about feeling ready, it's about showing up anyway. Every moment you delay, someone else is building, someone else is growing, someone else is using their time while you hesitate. And one day, you'll wonder how they got so far. The answer? They simply started when you didn't. But this isn't about comparing. It's about deciding. Deciding that your time matters, that your voice matters, that your goals are worth fighting for. Now, not someday. That later is just another word for never. The clock is ticking, whether you move or not. You can use that sound to terrify you, or to ignite you. Let every tick remind you, life is short, and you are not promised tomorrow. So take the leap. Write the book. Make the call. Start the business. Forgive the grudge. Say the words, because time won't wait, but you don't have to either. Fear is a liar. Fear will tell you you're not ready, that you'll fail, that people will laugh. It will whisper that you're not good enough, smart enough, or strong enough. But fear lies, not to protect you, but to control you. Its goal isn't your safety, it's your silence. Fear isn't always loud. Sometimes it's subtle. It shows up as procrastination, perfectionism, overthinking. It masks itself as logic. Be careful, it says. Play it safe. But safety isn't always wisdom. Sometimes it's just a beautifully decorated prison. You've survived every hard day so far, every heartbreak, every mistake, every loss. Fear told you you wouldn't, but you did. That's proof. Proof that fear's track record is unreliable. It doesn't predict, it projects. And you've outgrown its projections. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's action in spite of it. You don't need to kill fear to move forward. You just need to stop giving it the wheel. Let it ride in the back seat if it must, but never let it steer. Because fear only wins if you listen. When you let fear guide you, you shrink. You stay small. You trade potential for comfort. And you start to build a life that feels safe, but looks nothing like your dream. You end up haunted, not by monsters, but by what-ifs. You don't need to be fearless. You need to move anyway. Let your hands shake. Let your voice tremble. Let your heart pound. Do it scared. Because the version of you you're chasing, they didn't wait to feel ready. They moved while afraid. Fear will always be there. But so will your why, your reason, your mission. You choose which voice gets the final say. Let your passion scream louder than your doubt. Let your purpose speak louder than your panic. You weren't meant to live a cautious life. You were meant to live a courageous one. That means leaping even if you fall, speaking even if you stutter, building even if you break things along the way. There is no glory in never trying. One day you'll look back, and you won't remember the nights you were afraid. You'll remember the moments you acted anyway. That's what shapes a legacy. Not fearlessness, but faith. Not comfort, but conviction. Fear may never leave, but neither will your fire. Feed the right one. You are who you decide to be. You are not your past, not your mistakes, not your trauma. You are what you choose to become next. Identity is not fixed. It's fluid, built moment by moment, choice by choice. Every decision you make is a vote for the person you want to become. Stop waiting for someone to label you as worthy, talented, or capable. No one hands out permission slips in real life. You don't become something by being chosen. You become it by choosing yourself. Decide who you are, then act like it. Most people live by default. They let their circumstances define them. But power comes when you live by design. When you stop reacting and start creating. When you stop asking, "Who am I?" and start declaring, "Here's who I've decided to be." You want to be disciplined? Show up even when you don't feel like it. You want to be confident? Speak, even when your voice shakes. You want to be successful? Start acting like someone who finishes what they start. Identity follows action. Your brain is watching you. Every small win is a message. I'm the kind of person who shows up. Every broken promise is a message. 2. Maybe I don't follow through. Rewrite the message. One action at a time. One choice at a time. You're not stuck. You're just undecided. You haven't committed. But the moment you do, everything changes. You don't need a sign. You are the sign. You don't need clarity to begin. You need motion. Because clarity comes from doing. You don't have to feel confident to become confident. Confidence is a consequence, not a prerequisite. It's what happens after you prove to yourself that you can survive the discomfort, that you can keep your word, that you are becoming someone new. Let go of the story that says you're not enough, that you can't change, that it's too late. Stories can trap you, but they can also free you. Write a new one. Cast yourself as the hero. Then get to work earning the ending you want. You have power, not in some abstract motivational sense, but in a very real, very practical one. Power to decide, power to act, power to persist. And when you do that consistently, the world starts to treat you differently. Not because it changed, but because you did. You are not the result of your past. You are the product of your patterns. Change the pattern. Change the person. Burn the excuses. Excuses feel good in the moment. They're soft, comforting, logical. I'm too tired. It's not the right time. I'm just not feeling it today. But over time, those little lies pile up. And they don't just kill your momentum, they erode your integrity. Excuses are clever. They wear masks. They pretend to be valid concerns. But dig deeper, and you'll see the truth. Most excuses are fear in disguise. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of effort, and they will rob you quietly and consistently. You can either make excuses or make progress, not both. Excuses are the enemy of execution, and nothing changes if you don't execute. If you're always explaining, defending, postponing, you're not building, you're just circling. The most dangerous excuses are the ones you believe, the ones that sound noble. I need to be more prepared. I don't want to rush it. I'm just waiting for the right moment. But excellence isn't born in perfect timing. It's born in persistent doing. There is no secret formula, no perfect day, no ideal energy level. If you're always waiting to feel inspired, you'll never move. Professionals don't rely on motivation. They rely on habits, systems, schedules. They show up regardless. Your dream doesn't care how you feel. It's not waiting for your mood to align. It's waiting for your discipline, your decision to stop negotiating with weakness, to stop letting your feelings run the show. Feelings are real, but they're not reliable. Not reliable. The key to freedom is responsibility. Not blame, not guilt, just radical ownership, saying, "This is mine. My result is my responsibility." That mindset alone separates the dreamers from the doers. It turns excuses into action. You'll never regret doing the hard thing, but you will regret every excuse that held you back. Every time you let comfort win. Every time you traded short-term ease for long-term fulfillment. Burn the excuses. Light the fire with them. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a force of will. You are capable of showing up even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. That's how strength is built. through the choice to do what must be done, not just what's easy. Excuses are optional. Growth is earned. Success is not a single event. It's a process, a habit, a commitment to showing up day after day, no matter how you feel. The magic doesn't happen in bursts of inspiration. It happens in the routine, in the act of continuing, even when motivation fades. Many people start strong but falter when they don't see immediate results. They give up too soon, not realizing that growth is often slow and steady. It's like planting a tree. You won't see it grow in a day, but if you keep watering it, nurturing it, eventually, it will tower over you. Consistency doesn't require perfection. It doesn't require working 24/7. It's about doing something every day. Little actions compound over time to create massive results. You don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great. On the days you don't feel like it, remember, consistency is not about feeling motivated. It's about honoring the commitment you made to yourself. It's about becoming the person who shows up, even on the days when the enthusiasm is gone. That's where the true growth is. You won't see progress every single day, but over time, your effort will stack up. Every small win, every tiny step forward will add up. And one day, when you look back, you'll be amazed at how far you've come. But you'll realize it wasn't magic. It was consistency. Stop waiting for the perfect time to start. There is no perfect moment. There is only now. The longer you delay, the harder it gets. But each day you commit to your goal, you're making the journey just a little bit easier. Small actions create big shifts. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't often comes down to this: the willingness to stick with it when the excitement wears off, the discipline to keep going when the rewards seem distant. That's where real success lives, in the days you show up when no one else would. Don't get distracted by what others are doing. Your journey is yours alone. Focus on your own path, your own growth. It's easy to compare, but it only slows you down. Your journey requires consistency, and that's something only you can provide. Don't let comparison steal your focus. Remember, even when it feels like you're getting nowhere, you're still building. Each action you take is laying the groundwork for something bigger. Progress may be invisible to you in the moment, but it's happening. Trust the process, trust the effort, and above all, trust yourself. Success is not an event. It's a daily practice. Master that, and you'll master everything else. Sometimes the biggest hurdle to success is not the obstacles in front of you, but the weight you're carrying behind you. The grudges, the fears, the toxic relationships, the past failures. These things don't just live in your memory, they influence your future. But here's the secret: you have to let them go. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean that what happened didn't matter. It just means you stop giving those things power over you. You stop letting them dictate how you feel, what you do, and who you become. You choose to free yourself. Holding on to past pain is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It only harms you. It keeps you stuck in a cycle of anger, regret, and frustration. Letting go is not for them. It's for you. It's an act of self-love and self-preservation. The things you carry aren't always visible, but they weigh you down just the same. Old wounds, fears, and regrets create a heavy mental and emotional burden that blocks your growth. When you let go, you open space for new opportunities, new ideas, and new energy to enter your life. But letting go is hard. It's uncomfortable. It's painful. Because it often means letting go of what you thought was your identity, of people or situations you've held on to for far too long. But in truth, those things don't belong in your future. They're part of your past. And your future requires room to grow. You can't create a new version of yourself while dragging old baggage along. Your potential is unlimited, but it can't fully unfold until you release the things holding you back. So ask yourself, What's weighing you down? What do you need to release to move forward? Forgiveness is part of this process, but it's not just about others. It's about yourself. Forgive yourself for mistakes, for the times you didn't know better, for the times you doubted yourself. When you forgive, you free yourself. You stop carrying the burden of guilt and shame. Letting go is an act of trust. It's trusting that what's meant for you will find its way to you. It's believing that you are worthy of better and that your future is brighter than the past you're clinging to. And when you trust in that, you open yourself to receiving. Every time you let go, you make room for something better. Every time you free yourself from the past, you make space for the future. This is the ultimate form of self-care. The more you release, the more you create. Let go of what no longer serves you. Make room for who you are becoming. Let go and trust the process. The best is yet to come.